Alright, talking today about astral projection, astral travel, lucid dreams, and all that jazz. So, yes, another astral travel, astral plane experience to talk about that I had recently. So, this one, I projected into an astral plane where I was an elf, and I had a unicorn as well. So, and there were other elves in this place, in this plane. So, what happened was I projected into this place where it was like nature. There were a lot of sort of spiritual trees and plants and crystal caves again. And I had a unicorn that I rode or walked alongside. And what happened is that elves are very intuitive. They're clairaudience, for one. So there's the clairaudience side of it with their ears. Their ears are almost like antennas. Now, what it was between me and the unicorn, me and other elves, me and the trees, me and anything in this nature, in this plane, in this place that I projected into was there's telepathic communication. Yes, there is spoken communication. I don't know whether to turn that off. Just open the window a little bit. So yeah, there's spoken words, spoken communication, but there's also non-verbal communication. And lots of intuition, lots of clairaudience and telepathy communication between me and the unicorn, me and other animals, me and other insects, us as elves, or connecting to other elves or other beings, or and that's how it felt and that's how it was. So the unicorn had a unicorn, which was almost like, it was a horn, but it also had magical, like it kind of lit up. It was almost like, you know how an elephant tusk is? It's sort of like that, or any animal that has like antelopes or some sort of horns themselves, a deer or an elephant or anything that has some kind of horns coming. It's similar to that, almost like bone and a thing that is attached to the head and grows out of the unicorn's head. But it's almost like can glow, like has crystal formation, it has a crystal in its head and in its third eye. And I, as an elf, had the ears, and I had this sort of hair which would kind of be, it sort of changed colour, like it could go from white, silver grey to brown, black to other colours of hair. And the elf's hair is really important for telepathy and communication, same with the ears, and it connects to the unicorn or other animals, other beings, other elves, whatever. And I had like thicker, bushier eyebrows, a bit like, Bjork early days. And she sort of had these really cute, like little bushy eyebrows. My eyebrows are quite bushy, to be honest, naturally, which I like. Personally, yes, I do. And so all our hair, our eyelashes, the hairs on our face, our eyebrows, our actual hair, even if you're a bold being or a bold elf, there's still sort of transmitters sort of in our head and in our third eye and in our face. So I had sort of bodycon sort of symbols, almost like bodycon, body modification symbols in my face, and then I might draw them. I might do a picture or some artwork or something of how I looked. Same with the mermaid thing and the other being that I was being as an astral child. So I had like a body modification here, and my head almost had like a mini natural body con, almost like a bump on it as an elf. And the hair, we're always communicating with the other animals and the trees. So the leaves on the trees, it's almost like if you listen, the trees here and the trees in the astral planes are talking, are communicating, are giving you wisdom, and it is a healing thing all the time. Anyway, so I was riding my unicorn. The unicorn was a white dappled grey, sort of white dappled silvery grey colour. And this unicorn's horn, whenever they were communicating or going through different seasons or something like that, and then when the trees were changing through different seasons, so you know, like how we've got our blossom trees and our autumn leaves trees and our winter trees with the snow and the summer trees, all those leaves are like our hair or or like our clairaudience ears. Same with our eyebrows, the same with our eyelashes, and like hair on our face, it has intuition. I ended up in this place. I don't know if it was nighttime, but it was really dark. Like, I was at this place where the trees were massive and they were really dark, and they had a pattern. So the trees had crystal caves inside the trees, and they were like dark, either dark grey, dark brown, dark black trees. Like the actual tree trunks and the branches were really dark. There were light parts as well, so it was almost like, you know, the Lord of the Rings. Oops. So yeah, yes, it's still going. So you know, like the Lord of the Rings elves, I've forgotten what they're called, but they've got a name to them. I need to look it up. I'll leave a link below. I have looked it up before, but I forget. So there are like light places, and these light sort of structured buildings with like arched windows. And again, when I saw in the Mermaid City under the sea, when I saw those sort of structured buildings, they were similar to those, but these buildings, these structures were almost like bone-like, structures. Not bone, I don't think. It was like a type of natural stone or whatever it is made of. Everything is natural. Everything in these astral planes that I've been to seem like them. Everything is made out of some natural. If it's a building, it's made out of a natural stone or leaves or crystals or crystal caves or trees. So these trees that I've seen were dark, but they had a red crystal cave, a dark sort of red, like a blood red, like a dark cherry red. I can't even explain it, like a ruby red, but like a dark ruby, like from a cherry red to a dark blood red crystal cave. I don't know if it was a ruby or something else, but I'll look it up and see if I can figure out what kind of crystal. So these trees had caves inside them that you could go in, and they had rooms, and it was all nature, but the trees were glowing through the branches, and the branches were almost like a honeycomb or a geometric shape, and then the crystal part would be glowing through, the red part would be glowing through in between the branches, and you would like sort of turn around the corner with your unicorn, or you'd walk there, or however you would get there, because we sort of had wings. It was almost like we were fairy unicorn. It's almost like the unicorns had wings as well as unicorns. They were like Pegasus unicorns. But we also could fly it, like we also, as elves, we were like fairy elves. I can't even explain it. They were like almost like wings there, so you could almost like project with these wings, or you could like literally just walk, use your legs, or ride the unicorn or the horse or whatever. And you could go in these crystal cave like trees, and you can live with people are like, or elves or other beings are living there, and you could literally telepathically listen to like a bug, and they're like wise, and everybody is beautiful and wise and knowledgeable and everything. So it's almost like these body modification sort of crystal like engravings on my face, which were like symbols. Also had like intuition and magic in them, almost like transmitters, like the ears, the side of the face, the heads, and like, you know, all down your arms. Your whole body was like almost had like magic and telepathy and communication, and you didn't necessarily have to talk verbally to someone else, another being, or talk to your unicorn. You could just telepathically think it or hear it, and the unicorn can talk back to you through the clairaudience, or through your sort of natural body modifications. And it makes me think about, you know, people when we have body modifications here on earth. It's almost like connected to that, or when we feel a certain type of way because we feel more comfortable in that body. So when I'm talking about bodies, our physical bodies are, it's almost like we are dissociating. Our brain and our thoughts and our heart is connected, and our chakras and our soul is connected to animals and trees here on earth and in other astral planes. And we have to listen more and relax and tap into these powers that we already have, are already there within our third eye. It's just letting go and removing the expectations, and letting go of expectations, and accepting who we are, and accepting other people, and not judging, because people often judge how other people look, or how they are, or how their body looks. And it's not like that. Our bodies are just vessels. So when we're in these astral planes or parallel universes, or whether we're here, we have another higher self somewhere else telling us to accept ourselves, to accept other people. And these bodies, these physical bodies, are just vessels. It's more about energy, it's more about intuition, it's more about energy exchange. So when I was there, and there was these sort of dark trees and these crystal caves, a lot of them were like reds and other colours like green and purple, blue, like, you know, all the colours are there. But the main one that I saw was like a red crystal, and maybe a red and black, or red and really dark grey crystal. But when, I don't know if it was winter time or whatever, but parts of it, when I looked down on the ground and there was like nature all around, I saw the ground was ice, like an ice, almost like a natural ice ring, and it was like ice, but the ice was kind of see-through, and it was natural. It could have been winter time or whatever, whenever I was at this place, but it was like ice. And there's also those white, sort of white, translucent kind of crystals. So I have to look it up and then put some links below to these crystals that I'm talking about, so that if you want, you can look up the meaning of these crystals, or maybe you've seen them yourself in a lucid dream or an astral travel or whatever. This ice, it was like nature, trees, crystal caves and ice, and I could literally walk or ice skate on the ice if I wanted to, and the unicorn could walk over the ice. But when you look down through the ice, I saw a whole city, like cities, and of elves and unicorns and other animals, and I think I saw like a dragon that was flying. It was a whole city with these dark buildings, like dark granite or stone or something, and the buildings were like amazing, intricate structures, almost like they were like all carved, like the doors and the windows, everything was carved, and I can't even describe how it looked, but it was like a city, and there were rocks, and it was nature, and everybody was like doing something important. Like what I was wearing, sort of like almost like an armor thing. It had like shoulders that came out, you know, those sort of shoulder pads, but like armor, but like old-fashioned armor, like what do you call it, like the old style clothing, almost like, I'm trying to explain it, it was like that, and it was almost like protection. I wasn't in, I sort of got the feeling I wasn't in the full armor gear, but there what real like leather and almost like metal armor gear exists, because I saw other people or other elves, there were other elves there wearing it. I saw a male elf, and I feel like he almost had these leather, almost like armor clothing, and it was like a vest or a waist, like a thing, and a long coat thing, and he had like a spear, or he had something in his hands, and he also had a unicorn. And I saw, so there's a city, there's cities underneath, or I don't know if it was underwater, because it was ice, so part of it could have been, it felt like part of it was, and then part of it was like, it's like these buildings on the side of like like cliffs and mountains and windows and cities and trees, and it was all nature, because like I said before, everything that's indoors is outdoors, everything is nature no matter what, because nature is really important, and you have to remember to connect with nature, connect with animals like horses and elephants and insects, and the trees are communicating with us. So when you go by a tree, listen to nature, listen to yourself through nature. And our bodies are just vessels. When we connect through energy. It's not physical attraction, it's more like energy, and we're telepathically connected even here. So it's almost like those messages that the unicorn was giving me, and the whole feeling of the trees around, and this ice, and these white crystals, and the red crystals, and the dark crystals, and the other ones. So remember the unicorn's horn was glowing like a bit green and other colours. My face was matching those colours when the unicorns, or my little body mods on my face and around here and around my neck and around the back of my ears and around my elf ears every time that would glow up, or and it would like mirror, it would like the unicorn would do like the same colour because we were connected. My hair and my bone like little horn here, there's a little horn on my head here, was connected to the unicorn's horn. So I felt safe. I felt safe in my own skin and comfortable, like in the vortex feeling. And so did the unicorn. So the unicorn felt safe. So you know when we feel unsafe here sometimes, so when I was riding the unicorn, it felt fluid and it felt safe, and I could just do it, and I could ride for the forest, and everything felt like it was at ease because I was just doing it. You know, like sometimes when you're driving and sometimes you don't always feel safe, or you want to pull over. Like in this place you would stop and have breaks too, but only because you wanted to, because you wanted to look at the view, or you wanted to sit by a tree. And the unicorn, you would stop to just get a drink. Like we would stop to go to the fucking gas station or the petrol station or the service to get a drink to rest. But in this place, it was almost like telling you it's all right to be yourself, because nobody's judging anybody, and we all have something unique and special about everyone. Whether you can see it, whether physically or not, everybody is unique. Everybody is connecting. We're telepathically connecting. We're clairaudiently connecting, and all those sort of intuition connection and energetically connecting. So it was almost like telling you, when you're on the unicorn, or when you're driving, or whatever the case may be, here or there or anywhere, it's okay, and just go with the vibe, go with the flow, go with your intuition, connect with yourself, and don't be afraid. Like, just do it. Just jump on the horse, just jump on the unicorn and ride through the thing. If you just do it, like almost like that thing, like feel the fear and do it anyway. So it's kind of like that as well, because you're just being yourself and everybody else is being themselves, and everybody's just doing the thing. Almost like how ants just cut the leaves and do the thing, or they carry the little tic-tac eggs. I call them like tic-tac eggs because they look like little tic-tacs. I always call ants ant eggs, like the white, you know, that like the white tic-tacs. I call them tic-tac eggs because they look like you know, like how ants are just getting on with it. It's kind of like an ant or any animal that just does the thing, because they're living in the moment, and that's kind of like the message. And we all have abilities to read non-verbal body language between our animals, or with other beings, or other humans, or whatever you want to call it. We all have connection to the trees and the other people, and these are just vessels, these things that are called bodies. So it's all about acceptance and love and sharing and nurturing and nature and communication and gratitude. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment if you want to. And yeah, let me know if you've had a lucid dream as deep as that, or you feel like you've astral travelled anywhere, and what your astral projection experiences have been like. And yeah, that's it.